Yo guys, I've got a spark which I'm going to use to ignite the fire for a brand new episode of the Skylanders Imaginators Soul Seekers series here on the channel. Once again, that rat hole is going to give us nothing but treasure, but we want treasure for this character because as you can tell we got our water brawler in the previous episode all the way up to level 7, so it's now able to equip ultimate gear, so we might as well get some ultimate gear worth equipping. That comes in the form of something new Imaginite parts as I just placed onto the portal the first of my 2 platinum chests. So the best thing about these chests is that they give us an ultimate weapon for every single battle class. We've already got through 2 of which, the Bowslinger, the Bazooka, and then there's the Smasher with a ghostly mace. That looks incredible. I cannot wait to check out some of these weapons, personally equipping them and buffing up my Imaginators along the way. I mean, we have Patty Pummelers for Pete's sake. How can I not want to equip that to my awesome water baller right here? Because some burger-based knuckle dusters, those are definitely fitting for my very robotic aquatic creature, which is a lot of tick words apparently, but we're okay with that. We have a new ninja weapon for golden wheels, they look fancy. But anyway, as I was alluding to earlier, that is not our only platinum chest to place onto the portal, mind you. So there's our second one with yet again another new set of 70 Imaginite parts. Let's check these out. So we have a insect bow, that looks pretty cool. And a metal dragon bazooka. Reminds me of Flarewolf's bazooka, but just not nearly as good because Flarewolf's bazooka is on a league all of its own. Anyway, we've got some Venom blades. That reminds me of Spider-Man 2, which is a game I'm very much looking forward to. As of recording this video, it's not yet out, but I'm pretty sure that by the time this video goes live, the game will have literally only just came out. I believe it would have been its launch yesterday, if I've got my dates correct. We have a Xenoblaster. Who knew that aliens were incorporated into the Skylanders universe here? Anyway, we have 2 final pieces remaining. A massive ass circuit sword. That would look very appropriate for a Life Knight, if that's what element has popped up for the corresponding Knight battle class Imaginator. But that being said and done, what we're going to do here is that we're going to discover for Undead Sensei Realm. Very exciting, I know. Yeah, look at that. It looks a bit like a Sensei Undead Realm, really. Obviously, we seeked out 2 Undead Sensei Souls in the previous episode. But first as first, I've been promising some ultimate gear. So let's be equipping some of that. So these are some of the things that we have acquired, such as Patty Pummelers, which, as I said earlier, seem really cool. But these alien punches take it to a whole other level because they actually feel as though they fit with the rest of the design quite well, given that they have a blue tint to them, and obviously blue is the colour of the water element primarily. But there's not just weapons to have to deal with, there's also ultimate headgear we can equip, and as you can tell, with all of these brand new parts, there is no shortage of choices, like an ornate ponytail, or a primal hat, or a freaking rabbit ear antennae. I mean, we've got to go with the ornate ponytail. I almost called it ponytail then. I have no idea what that's supposed to be. But yeah, then as for the rest of this gear, we have to go with the Spirit Warrior shoulders. Yes, please. Arm guards. Well, there's once again some more spirit armors, so let's be equipping that. You look pretty cool, the knight leg armor, even though we're not a knight. And then as for the backpack, this one just looks really cool. It looks really cool no matter who your Imaginator is, and plus it gives us a fantastic buff. So there we go, we have our new and improved, very originally named water brawler. It's even going to have an aura to call its own. Now we could give it electrons, we could give it a bloop, we could even present it as the star child that it truly is. There, my friends, is the bestest water brawler you ever have seen. But that being said, let's take him off the portal and replace him with the might of Hitboss's debut.
The scales of justice.
Oh yeah, that's what we're talking about. Let's get some justice up in here. Oh, and also some Imaginator buffs, because apparently, based on the ultimate gear, I don't have enough buffs already. Oh yeah, that sounds like fun. Let's study ways of the snake, because, you know, there's no better traits for a water brawler that's half robot, half aquatic creature than traits of the snake. Anyway, we now have unskippable cutscenes, my biggest, most dreaded nightmare. That was for true horrors of the Undead Realm, not the actual Undead Realm itself, the tyranny of the unskippable cutscenes. And now we have the Dungeon of Dozen Dangers. I can't say that very well apparently. But yeah, this level does have a lot of replay value because, as Callie pointed out, it changes every single time we come back through it, and we have to play through this level twice regardless, because there's 2 sets of collectibles at the very end, one that you get from the initial playthrough and then one from the second playthrough. So this first playthrough we're going to get as many collectibles as possible. We're going to try and accomplish the enemy goal, which for this area is actually something easier said than done. It's like the old days as far as Adventure, where the enemy goals were really tight and it was tough to find enough enemies to go around. I'm not even sure if in this game Sonic Boom's babies count as an enemy when they are defeated or not, like they do in Spyro's Adventure. Like, that was a workaround in Spyro's Adventure. Whenever you were short of the enemy goal, you just keep spawning it in Sonic Boom's babies, because for some reason, when Sonic Boom's babies expired, they were classed as enemies that counted towards the enemy goal. That was rather convenient when it came to getting those enemy goal objectives finished, that is. Anyway, let's get those guys all reunited as we complete the puzzle at hand. Fantastic. And now these folks have got to go. This is very uncool, bro. Oh, but luckily that's what we have the overpowered nature of Pit Boss for. I forgot how good he was. I'm only joking, of course. I did just recently play him in the Skylanders Imaginators versus I completely, 1000%, fully knew that Pit Boss was going to be a beast here. That was what was expected of him. Any less and it would have been a disappointment, because that's exactly what he is. A beast sums up this character quite perfectly indeed. Let's kill him! Obviously, another way to ensure you get the enemy goal is to let that undead spellpoint keep spawning it in all of the undead enemies, though I'm not 1000% certain if even that counts towards the enemy goal. The rules constantly change on spawned enemies for each and every Skylanders game. A bit like how the controls for each and every Skylanders game are constantly changing as well. If you play the Wii U version of Skylanders Imaginators, you can still play Skylanders with a Wii Remote and Nunchuck, and they shifted up the controls from Superchargers, which shifted up the controls from Trap Team, which shifted up the controls from Swap Force, which also, to your surprise, shifted up the controls from Giants. The only game when you use a Wii Remote Nunchuck that has the exact same controls from one game to another as Spyro's Adventure and Giants. So playing Giants right after Spyro's Adventure actually makes sense from a control standpoint. I have no idea why they thought we need to constantly change up controls. Like, why not just leave it as it is and make the C button on the Nunchuck the jump button? I understand that the C button is a weird button for the jump, but it wasn't previously used for Spyro's Adventure or Giants on the Wii, so it would have made sense as a jump button. I mean, it's the same for, obviously, PlayStation and Xbox as well. Originally on PlayStation 3, X was the primary attack, and then they made it the jump for the next few games, and they changed it so the triangle became an attack button rather than the triangle being a jump button, which would also make no sense. Either way, we're going to start talking about controls here and just admire the artistic beauty of this selfie right now. I've never taken a more self-expressive photo in my entire life. You can call that a metaphor for the society we live in. But enough of prattling about, as they say. Let's continue finding ourselves some collectibles right after I reconnect my dying controller. That's rather inconvenient timing. There we go, that's more like it. So, I'm going to grab a pretzel. Not that the pretzel's going to help with my controller batteries having died, but it is going to help with Pit Boss's health, because who would have known that pretzels were so healthy? Skylanders encouraging that healthy eating, you know, like pretzels. And, well, it's mostly just pretzels. Most of the foods in this game are actually quite healthy for you. But it's going to give us nothing but pretzels instead. Why have healthy food when we can just eat pretzels all day now, right? That's a great message to be sending. You guys have got to go, as I have discovered the troll radio back here. Don't mind if we do, so let's get that dealt with. Boom. Boom. And we shake the room, let's go. Now I currently have some chompies on my ass, so it's time to change that and ensure that they are as good as dead. That's more use to us than them being alive after all. All of this experience is unfortunately going to waste, and even at level 20, Pit Boss's health is quite low. It's rather tragic actually. But then again, as Pit Boss, we don't even need that much health. enemies are defeated so quickly that them dealing damage to us is basically no problem whatsoever. So now that they're all dead, let's quickly check out our level goals and make sure that we're looking good on the enemy goal. We're 40 enemies short, and I'm not entirely sure how many are found in the arena, so we're just going to keep defeating shit and hoping that we are successful on those objectives. But there are some bonus goals to be redeeming, lots of those of which, let's go. So yeah, that's pretty sweet. Now that they've all been dealt with, let's head back up here and see what more enemies can be found. As several chests get added to Vault, those are the chests that we get from those goals that we just accomplished, mind you. Oh yeah, there's more enemies up here. Make sure we defeat as many as possible before heading into the arena. Yes, these guys, they're all going down, down, I tell you. Boom, baby, and that's what we're talking about. Let's head into the bright, glowy yellow thing, because if there's anything that level designers taught me, it is always head towards the bright, glowy yellow things. Or, you know, hit the big red buttons. That's another obvious design guidance. Okay, let's kill some stuff. I like that plan, I like that plan a lot. Okay, cool, we're getting them slowly but surely. I have no idea what a Vulture is doing in an undead-themed round, but that's fine. You know, we are an all-inclusive, diverse society and culture here. Was my selfie not a reflection of that exactly? So, I suppose vultures, even vultures, are welcome here. All kinds are welcome here. I know, right, Flynn? That was pretty cool. So, first thing we're going to do is we're going to seek out the soul of Wolfgang, because he is seriously overpowered, and I cannot wait to play as him in this series, since we will have seeked out his soul. Once Flynn decides to be quiet, that is. But then again, asking Flynn to be quiet is always asking for too much, because Flynn is about as quiet as often as pigs fly. So we are going to, as always, make sure that Wolfgang has been previewed. He's looking good and mighty, and that's because he is. He is very good and very mighty. And I like that little tune they had going on at the end there. Some great synchronization for the advertisement clip. So without further ado, let's grab this Imaginite chest, because clearly we haven't collected enough Imaginite through this level already. We have an undead aura and a new quick shot weapon for bat ray zappers. Now that is pretty cool. Anyway, let's pop over here for the other Imaginite chest. We can't leave that behind. And it's going to grant us a rare piece of sorcery weaponry. That's pretty neat. Pretty neat indeed. The question is, did I defeat enough enemies here? Well, we only got one of the treasure chests, and we weren't even close to the enemy goal nor the speedrun objective. So next time I come through here, we'll have to make sure that the undead spellpunks spawn more of their undead friends, I suppose, because that is more of a guarantee for the sake of the enemies. But fortunately, this level is short, so going through it over and over again isn't nearly as tedious as some of the longer levels in this game with poor level design that wind up being so forgettable that every single time you go through it, it's like having a fresh slate all over again, because you can't remember the puzzles from the previous time because they were so forgettable from that previous time. I am, of course, talking about stuff like the Magic Realm and for Griffin Park Observatory. So we have a gift from the Golden Queen. In fact, I believe we're going to have lots of gifts in this Imaginite Vault, because we haven't opened it in a while. So there's a gift from Airstrike as well. Or this dates all the way back to the second episode. We're on the fourth episode already. So when I said earlier that there is going to be a lot to open in this Imaginite Vault, this here is what I meant. A new quick shot weapon for retro blasters, which look rather dull by comparison to literally every other blaster in the game. So here we go, we have a new chest. Cyborg torso, that's going to look really neat on my water brawler. But first things first, we have a cyborg helmet from the set we just completed. Once again, that's pretty neat. And we have a wind-up key. Oh my gosh, I can make an honorary wind-up. I mean, I did wind up a brawler in my Skylanders School series, so I suppose a tech brawler could be an honorary wind-up, but we have a water brawler instead, so, you know, we could make it half wind-up, half punk shock, I guess, make it punk up, or, you know, wine shock, which is a way better name now that I think about it. Obviously, it's the last name that I come up with that's the best for the Imaginator, but the same thing happens with films, you know. It's very often that film titles are changed through development. Like, you could write a script and the title for the movie will likely change 4 or 5 times whilst you're writing it, and then it will change another 4 or 5 times after it's been written. Hell, sometimes movies get trailers with a title, and then that title is changed even after the trailer's been released. That's what happened with Mitchells vs. the Machines. The original title was going to be Connected. Then, the internet pointed out that title is stupid, so they changed it, and thank heavens for that. I think more people are going to watch a film called Mitchells vs. the Machines than a film called Connected, because Connected just tells you nothing about the film. But it's a very good film, that one. I would highly recommend it. I was actually rooting for it at the Oscars for the best animated film, but obviously it lost out to, I believe it was Encanto, which is definitely another worthy choice. Encanto was my second favourite animated film that came out that year, right after Mitchells vs. the Machines. And here we go with some common gear. I mean, it's not really that common because you only get that piece once, so it's actually like one of the most rarest pieces in the game because it doesn't duplicate. Or at least there's only one unique manner in which to get it, I should say. So again, that makes it absurdly rare, the fact that there's only one way to get it. So here we go, we have new shoulder pads for stony shoulders, don't mind if we do. So we've now finally reached that part of the vault where these are treasures we have acquired from those level goals we completed. So it's about time we got here. And obviously the tier in which you have accomplished on the goal is correspondent with the level of rarity of the Imaginate. So here we have an alternate piece of gear because we completed the highest tier on the level goal. More of a bonus goal, as the game puts it. It's more of a bonus goal because it's not a goal specific to any level, therefore not making it a level goal. Anyway, let's see what we have here. Another common piece, because apparently common pieces are commonplace. Who saw that coming? I suppose that's why they call it common in the first place. Here we are with yet another new chest for Turtle Shell, which puts us one piece away from completing that legendary turtle set. Regardless, we finally made our way through one adventure pack level in one of the previous episodes. Well, I should say a combination of the 2 previous episodes, because Griffin Park Observatory was dealt with eventually. It was a slow and painful process, but we got there. And so now, it is none other than the Enchanted Elven Forest's turn. Let's get going for the night of a tree. I'm okay with that, because a level about a magnificent tree is better than a level about an observatory. I know, I am shocked to be revealing this information to you as well. In fact, no one's more shocked than I am, but somehow the developers made a better level out of a forest than they did a freaking observatory. How did they manage that? Only Skylanders Imaginators could mess up a level concept as good as the Griffin Park Observatory. Anyway, life is stronger here, and at the moment we've only seeked out one soul for the life element. Ambush. But he himself is a tree, so it's only appropriate to be playing as a tree in the level full of trees. Okay, let's charge this up. And then, boom, strike him down. That was a lot of overkill for the sake of one measly enemy with very, very little health before its own. Boom, take him down. And we're going to take him down too, because I did not realise how absurdly large that attack hitbox was. Anyway, let's kill some things. Let's skip over some cutscenes, more importantly, by pressing the best button for video game, and heading into this section, the Sleepy Sloth, where we can complete a game of Creation Clash against this Skunk Walker. One hell of a name right there. So let's skip over his unnecessary deep stew by pressing the best button for video game. And then we're going to thrash his ashes. Not that he has multiple ashes. I assume, like most people, he only has one ash. And yes, ash is a substitute for ass, because my dad accidentally once got his tongue a little bit tied and kept saying thrash your ashes rather than thrash your asses. It was rather hilarious, and we haven't kind of stopped ever taking the mickey out of him for that. That being said, let's blow our least most useful stone at the moment on this bottom left hand corner. Okay, there we go. Now we can actually do some stuff with this setup. So let's use Pit Boss first. Boom.
Boom bloom.
Boom bloom much. Okay, so now we can either use Blastatron or Ember, and either way it works because we can take Boom Bloom without Golden Queen Stone taking Boom Bloom back. I have no idea why they played that way, because that was ultimately the play that lost them the game 5-4. I did in fact win. Congratulations for noticing. So we're going to pop right back outside, and then we have some Imaginite to be collected. Ooh. Yeah, don't mind if we do. 25 entire pieces. They best give me something good for all this effort I'm putting in right now. As the life, not even the life element, the air element has popped up, so it's time for the Might of Airstrike, our corresponding character of the air element. At least for now. More air Skylanders will be unlocked eventually, but if you don't go through the Griffin Park Observatory, then your first air sensei isn't unlocked until chapter 6 with Bad Juju's soul, where we can seek her out in the Land of Fizz, aka one of the worst levels of this game, because it takes a mechanic which was awesome in the past and it decides to do absolutely nothing with it. The level is completely uninspired and adds nothing to the mechanic that it just kind of steals from previous Skylanders games, shamelessly at that. Okay, let's bounce up here. Oh yeah, we get to continue bouncing, where we can slightly see out the corner of one's eye a soul to be seeked out. Okay, these are really janky ass trampolines. Without further ado, we have seeked out the soul of Boom Bloom. It's interesting to see in the ninja icon on her preview, because the ninja icon isn't even printed on her figurine. Boom Bloom is the only figurine in this game with a commonplace misprint, because in the slot where the battle class is meant to be, instead she has her element, the life element, rather than the ninja battle class. I have no idea how that got past the factory. Obviously someone was pretty tired that morning when all those figurines would be introduced. Let's say it's literally like the only commonplace like misprint factory defect for any Skylander, because it goes against what the original toy design was meant to be, which obviously would fit in with the pattern of the rest of the senseis, where the battle class is printed on the base, not the element. Yeah, thanks for that stuff, Wolf. I believe life is going to pop back up here, I believe so correctly, so now it's time to take advantage of that soul we just seeked out. Boom Bloom's turn to shine. Trust me, she will shine bright. Perhaps even like a diamond. What can I say? I was trying to sing earlier, in the very first episode in fact, I was trying to sing That's the Way It Is, and I failed miserably. So instead, when it comes to Shine Bright Like a Diamond, I'm not even going to attempt singing it, I'm just going to say it. I suppose all songs should be said, then they'll be much better. I'm joking, of course I can stand singing. I just stand singing a lot more when it's a rock song over any other song that matter, because that's what makes rock the best genre of music, don't you know? Yeah, let's get them! Wow, we're getting them right. Yeah, as you can tell, Boom Bloom here is incredibly overpowering. I actually feel sorry for these enemies right now. And that whip has some range on it. Let's go, honorary Indiana Jones. It's like Indiana Jones, if Indiana Jones was a woman and plant-based. Boom, let's take out these fires. That's what it had. It had this coming for looking at me funny. I have no idea how those previous fires weren't taken out. I suppose I do not aim these buckets very well. Okay, let's take out those crates for looking at me funny, no reason. But really, you don't need any other reason to take out crates now, do you?
But I fear other trees might be in danger too.
Oh, is that right, Stealth Elf, is it? Well, how about we ride for vines and go rescue other trees as we figure out that we are 24 minutes into the episode already. Man, time sure flies when you're having fun in this game. And you're pretty much having fun in this game so long as you're not playing Griffin Park Observatory, and since that's what's happening with me right now, I am indeed having fun, because this is not what Griffin Park Observatory looks like. If it was, then maybe Griffin Park Observatory would be a better level. All they needed to do to make Griffin Park Observatory a better level was not make it 100% as tedious as it was. That's all they needed to do, and yet the developers wanted to make us suffer. Worse yet, they wanted to make us pay them for making us suffer. As for Griffin Park Observatory is an adventure pack level, so it's basically a DLC level. Anyway, Torgo, will you shut up and let me get on with my job already? It's very difficult for me to be destroying these boxes on your behalf whilst you continue to speak. And the magic element pops up, and unfortunately we haven't yet seeked out a soul corresponding to magic element, which means we get to remain as the might of Boom Bloom a little bit longer. Okay, we have 24 crates have been destroyed, so let's get the final few. Or the final couple, I should say, because a couple is 2, then a few is either 3 or 4, a handful is 5, and then a dozen is 12.
Here we are.
So there was 2 dozen crates in total, you could even go as far to say. Anyway, those guys are going to die before I even think about taking my selfie. There we go, that's more like it. Yeah, we're just going to take this selfie quick like. I'm not bothered about having a good selfie being made, because I just want the treasure as a reward. We'll grab that food whilst we're at it as well. Yes, hello there, Stealth Elf. I would love to take up with plans, but once again, that's very difficult to do when you're too busy yabbering on. So let's get that into place, bingo. And life continues to be strong here, so it sure is convenient that we are currently playing as a Skylander corresponding with life element. Certainly is convenience at its finest. Okay, let's push those blocks into place, and now those blocks are exactly where they need to be in order for us to gain access to that diamond up there. I'm not certain we even need that diamond because I believe Boom Bloom is fully upgraded. I could, however, be wrong. That tends to be a commonplace mistake I make, being wrong about things. Because it's not exactly like being wrong about things is an intent now, is it? It's not correct to be wrong about things. Okay, let's take these fools out. I also love the whip sound effect. Again, this is like female Indiana Jones, but as a plant. If plants could make movies, then this is what the plant version of Indiana Jones would look like. Anyway, now that all of them have been destroyed, let's pop this into place. And we're going to finish these guys off as well, because by doing so, we earn an Imaginite chest. And I want that Imaginite, but the problem here is that now that final enemy just really doesn't want to die. That's more like it. Wow, what are you doing over here, bro? Take him out. There we are. And there's another one back here. They're all hiding, like, out of the corner of a camera. That's rude. There you are. That's more like it. And just like that, we have earned a reward. That reward being an Imaginite chest, which is an ultimate piece of gear. Don't mind if we do. We now have ourselves a cheese staff. So if we were to wield that mighty cheese staff, I am sure that the enemies in our wake would stand 0 chances against us. So let's push this block into place. Bingo. And we're going to do the same. Number 2 over here. Sweet! But before we hit that grind challenge, we have a few areas to head into, including that of the Elven Hideaway, where we can complete the 3rd stage of the Egg Rescue minigame. Okay, take out all of these annoying enemies right here. I'm not sure if I've ever made it to the final stage of Egg Rescue, actually. There's a lot of 100% stuff in this game, very specific stuff that I haven't yet done. So it's going to be interesting to get through all of that in this Soul Seeker series, where obviously I need 100% before I can defeat Kaos and be successful with the challenge at hand. And that's going to require me beating it for the initial time, beating it again in Night Mode, and then beating it a 3rd time for the completion. Yeah, it's very rare that you have the honour of, in the same series, defeating the same boss 3 times over, but, you know, that's a rare little trick for the Soul Seekers, a rare honour that this series possesses. But it's going to be interesting when we get to towards the end of the game, where we just have to grind out Imaginite chests, but that's where I can either spend the money and get some of the chests on eBay, which is probably going to be my solution, to be fair. Or we can grind out the arena challenges, which is definitely one thing I want to attempt, because I want to see how far through the arena challenges I could make it. The arenas are pretty clever in this game, in the fact that every single time you beat an arena, the level increases for it, and it becomes harder the higher your arena level is. So by the time you reach arena level like 350, you basically fight nothing but barbarians the entire time, and it is torture, especially if you're on Nightmare mode. Which, unfortunately, unlike the Vicarious Fishing games, you cannot switch to Nightmare mode at any time you're choosing. I wish you could, because it's just a really nice quality of life improvement that Swap Force introduced, and then Superchargers continue that tradition. You know, it's nice to be able to beat the game and then make it a little bit more harder after you've upgraded your characters with Nightmare mode. And it's also nice if you play Nightmare mode and things suddenly get too tough to be able to put the difficulty lower again. But that's one thing you cannot do in all of Toys of Bob games. Once you pick Nightmare mode, you are then stuck with it. Either way, here we go. Let's stop that dial. Let's stop it again. And there we go. Fortunately for me, I did not fail that, because having failed that would have been embarrassing. So I avoided a lot of embarrassment there. And now we have a grind section, which probably isn't going to go as smooth as for radio, mind you. But we want to make sure we get this challenge completed, because there is bonus goals for completing grind rail challenges. So the more of these we are successful at, the better. But fortunately, if you fail a grind challenge, what you can do is you can just fall off the grind rails and restart the challenge. But we don't need to do any of that, as we acquired all 16 Imaginator chunks and earned a chest as a result. What we're going to do here is that with that unnecessary deep stew, we're going to press the best button in the video game, the skip button, take out these fools whilst we're at it. Die, 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 thank you! Okay, watch out for him. Man, he is taking his time dying, I will tell you that much. Even though I don't need to tell you anything, I certainly don't need to tell you that much, because the on-screen resilience of that guy speaks for itself. Boom, let's take these guys out. How dare you shield me? That is rude, old chap. I didn't know these plants were British then, but here we are, because everyone knows that what makes you British is saying the word chap all the time. That's the one defining part of our culture, don't you know? Boom, let's take him out. And there's more of that. These guys are so annoying. They bounce everywhere, and they shield your attacks most of the time. Like, man, what a big ass nuisance indeed. And that guy's hiding back here. I hate how the enemies hide in this level. It's so expansive that the camera can't show everything all at once, which leads to enemies kind of being able to hide from you with ease. So what we're going to do here is we're going to open up that last Imaginator chest, and then we're going to conclude the episode where it is, because we have surpassed the 30-minute mark already. Granted, that's because like 50% of the screen time of this level has been dedicated to, well, this episode I should say. The grand majority of the screen time in this episode has been dedicated to opening up Imaginate chests. And here at the end, that is no difference. That having been said and done, this episode is going to come to an end, so let's roll the outro without further ado. I cannot, in good conscience, end off this video without first thanking all of my incredible channel members whose continued support help make these videos possible. Without them, these videos would be near impossible to make, so from the bottom of my heart, I truly appreciate every last one of them. If you enjoyed this video and would like to see more, there are plenty of options on screen now to explore, and please consider subscribing to keep up to date with all my content. On that note, this video is coming to an end, so thank you so much as always for watching. Until the next video arises, peace!